Hello, I'm Dr. Eve. Welcome to Cape Talk 567 and Radio 702 studio. Here is a listener who listens regularly to Reedy and myself. She says that her husband and I have been very sexually active before they got married. They used to have sex 3 or 4 times a day whenever was possible. And even when she was pregnant with her first child, they would both still enjoy having real intimacy with each other. After giving birth, everything changed. She says, I'm just not interested in having sex at all. My husband and I thought it was just due to the fact that I was breastfeeding, but it continued even after that. My boy is now 1.5 years old, and I don't feel as if I'm interested in being sexual at all. I just do it because it's my marital duty. I always hope that he's not going to bother me for a while. The problem is that I'm pregnant again with our second child. It's an unplanned pregnancy, and I've had my share of stress, but I've come to terms with the pregnancy, and now I have some sexual desire, but not as much as I would like to. And it's putting a lot of strain on our relationship as my husband keeps on telling me that my body might have changed, but his hasn't. And he makes comments about it all the time, that we used to make love 3 or 4 times a day. I don't know what's happening, and it doesn't help the situation for him to talk to me like that. His comments make me feel even worse. There is so much research that tells us this is a common response of women. After the first child, getting used to a parental role, feeling fatigued, you find that your sexual desire drops, and definitely breastfeeding is going to contribute towards that. What we do find is that after the second child, a woman's desire tends to drop even more. So I like the fact that now in your pregnancy, you are writing and saying, I need some help. I think the biggest tension area here is the relationship with your husband, that there seems to be an intolerance and there seems to be almost a selfishness around his experience and not being fully able to be empathetic to what's going on with you. And whilst I say that, I do have empathy for your husband as well. It is true that your body's changed and that your life has changed. And for a man, his testosterone remains constant throughout most of his life until he gets to about 45, 50, when there'll be a slow decline in the testosterone. So it's very difficult for a man to try and understand that a woman's hormones influence their sexuality to such an extent. But over and above that, your relationship with him will determine whether you do feel like having sex or not. And that's the point you have to put across, without stigmatizing yourself because you're pregnant, without stigmatizing yourself because you've lost interest in being sexual. It's really the relationship pressure that is inhibiting your sexuality at this moment. And if he can step back and be more empathic towards you, I'm sure you will find some way of being intimate with him, meeting his intimate needs, and feeling connected with him during this time of pregnancy. For more information, contact me, dreve.co.za.